Give me darkness when I'm dreaming. Give me moonlight when I'm leaving. Give me shoes that were made for standing. Give me a tree line, give me big sky. Give me snowbound, give me rain clouds. Give me a bedtime, just sometimes. Capo 2nd fret, we start with a C chord, but we've got to have our pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Now our thumb is just the whole time jumping from 5 to 3. But in between the beat 2 here, we got thumb, thumb, and there I'm doing the pointer finger on the 2nd string. Then the second half of the measure is 5, 1. I'm doing my middle finger. I suppose you could use your pointer as well, but I like to vary them up just to give each one a break. So it's 5, 1st string, then thumb back to open 3. So here, let's get the thumb going first. Then we'll put it together. Thumb, thumb, and thumb, and thumb. The strings are 5, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3. Thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb. Mike's Music Method. Come on in, everybody. Today we are doing 3 a.m. by Gregory Isaac Alan Isakov III, your second cousin twice removed, the death of Ivan Ilyich III Isakov. Gregory. This is a great little ditty. My buddy Rhino loves this song, and so I'm learning it for him because it's a great tune. It's kind of like this guy's like Don't Think Twice. You know, Bob Dylan's got his little finger-picking masterpiece, and this is this guy's little finger-picking. He's mainly like a strummer, but man, on this song does he do some great... He's got a light touch. He does some really great finger-picking. Keep in mind there are so many different variations. This is a very long tab. But a lot of the stuff, once you get it, you can simplify it or just not do the variations and just repeat the same thing. But I'm a little crazy, I'm a little nuts, and I give you all the variations, so just note the tab's gonna look a lot longer and more complicated than you can actually, that you can make it simpler is what I'm saying. Doing things a little different with this video, I am not gonna put the tabs up on screen. I'm kind of torn here. I want to create a lot of content for you guys, and doing the tabs on the screen is actually quite a bit of editing work. And let me know how you guys feel down below. The tabs, if you're new to Mike's Music Method, the tabs are all free at my website, mikesmusicmethod.com. I do ask you to donate and give monthly support, but you don't have to, so note that. So you can get the tabs for free. I'm not doing it to rope you into, you know, some payment plan on the website, although I am kind of doing that, but it's still free, so I'm not actually doing it. I'm only kind of doing it. I'm applying a little light pressure for you to help support the channel, but more on that later. So again, I'm saving me editing time, which means I'll be able to make more videos this month. But if you guys really, really miss the tabs and you're annoyed that it's not there, then I will supply them in future videos. But what I am doing is if you go to mikesmusicmethod.com, I've simply embedded this video into its own web page, and you have the tab right underneath it. So instead of watching directly on YouTube, if you go to mikesmusicmethod.com, you can watch the video and just have the tab right underneath it. Maybe the best of both worlds, or again, simply just download the PDF, print it, or have it open in a separate, browser window and view it that way. I didn't even say, this song is not a beginner piece. There's a lot going on. It's not super complicated, but there's just a lot of variation and different patterns. So it can feel a bit much, but it's not super hard. If you're a newbie here, check out my Travis picking playlist. If you go through those first 10 videos in that series, you'll be a great picker, and I don't think you'll have any trouble conquering this one. By the end of it, your right hand's just gonna be moving fast. A lot of pretty little hammer-on embellishments, and basically just cooking that right hand with a few different patterns. It's gonna be a real good one for you. It's gonna be a real good one for you. Without further ado, thank you, Rhino, for all your support over all these years. As a friend, a best bud, and also a huge supporter. I'm getting teary-eyed, I'm crying. Also as a huge supporter of Mike's Music Method, but also a dear friend, as I said. Onward, without further ado, 3 a.m., Gregory Alan Isakov, Ivan Ilyich III. Let's do it. Measure 2, we've got a G7. But notice you don't even need your middle finger here because we're never hitting that 5th string. So I just need my ring finger and my pointer. And check out this right hand. I am pinching right at the beginning, 6 and 1. Then my thumb is doing the bouncing as always between 6 and 4. First beat is a pinch. Thumb goes to 4. Pointer does the and beat on 3. So pinch, thumb, and. Second half of the measure, back to 6. Now here I go to the first string, but I have to lift that pointer finger because I'm doing open on that string. So I'm doing thumb on 6, middle finger is open on the first string, thumb back to 4. So we got the thumb on. Let's put it all together here. Pinching 6 and 1, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. Thumb and middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb. In the left hand I got that finger down. Then I lift it. Measure 3, we've got a normal A minor chord, but some nice fancy left hand work here by Mr. Gregory Isakov von Isakov III, the second once removed. Why does his name sound so like old and traditional to me? So A minor, I'm pinching 5 and 2. Then my thumb is on the 4th string. So the thumb pattern is 5 to 4 on this chord, not 5 to 3, it's 5 to 4. So I got the pinch, 5 and 2. Thumb alone. Then I'm lifting my left hand, whatever finger that is, a ring finger, because I got a hammer on. And I call this move a giddy up. Thank you, Anders, for this great term for it. I used to call it a compound movement, but giddy up is way cooler. So the moment I hammer on that 3rd string, open to 2, I'm also hitting the 5th string at the exact same time. So I got the hammer, and at the same time hitting that 5th string. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. If you're not used to this, practice that real slow because it's a bit awkward. But after the giddy up, I go to the 2nd string. I'm using my middle finger, thumb on 4, and my pointer does the 3rd. We'll talk through that one more time. Pinching 5 and 2, thumb alone, and then I add the giddy up. All right, I think you're following that. Then immediately hit the 2nd string again, thumb on 4, pointer on 3. Now we just got the thumb going here. Add the pinch. Add the giddy up. So this is how I build things. If this is too complicated, if the whole measure is too complicated, just play as much as you can. Take some time, and then eventually pinch 5, 2, 4, giddy up on 3, 2, 4, 3. Measure 4, you get a break. It's basically A minor again, thumb, thumb, and. So I got 5, 4, 3, and then thumb goes back to 5, middle finger on the 2nd string. Then I'm lifting that 4th string to get it open. So it looks like this. And with a click, get the thumb going. Lift it there, and here's the whole measure. Thumb. Measure 5, check this out. There's unfortunately only one way to do it. You gotta do the F chord with the thumb over the top. Because we have a hammer on, open to 2 on the 3rd string. And if you're barring the chord, I suppose you can do it, but it's really, I shouldn't say it's the only way, there's always a way. But it's really awkward without the thumb over the top. If you absolutely can't do the thumb over the top, you can just skip that hammer on. You'll be okay, you'll live. But let's do this, we got an F chord. Thumb over the top. So I'm doing nothing on the 1st string because he doesn't fret it. Well, he does later. We'll get there. So 1, 2, 3. Eventually, you have to bar both those ones. But you got that F chord with the thumb over the top. We're definitely not worrying about the 5th string though. And I'm pinching right off the bat, 6 and 2. Thumb alone on 4, and the whole thumb pattern is 6, 4. So pinch. Then I'm gonna play open. I gotta lift my middle finger here to get that 3rd string to sound open. So pinch 6 and 2, thumb and middle. Thumb goes to 4, then my pointer finger plays this 3rd string, but I gotta lift in the left hand to get the hammer on. But again, it's a giddy up. So when I do that hammer on, I'm also hitting that low 6th string at the same time. Remember, if this is hard, really get that down first. Then after the giddy up, I go back to the middle finger. Then it just ends 4, 3. So let's get the thumb. going good. That's fine. Now the whole thing. Measure 6. Oh, it's a little bit tricky. So we start kind of the same. 6, 4. Then we go to the first string, and I'm doing my middle finger there. 6, 4, and now the thumb goes back to 4, and then you have to lift that index finger so the first string is open. So that melody on an F chord has to go from 1 to open. So practice that and kind of think about what you're doing with your left hand. I'm kind of doing it like this, where it's a bar, and then I lift it up. I'm sure there are other novel ways, but that's how I'm executing it. And look at the thumb here for a second. It's actually 6, 4, 4, 3. So if you're looking at the tab, right, free at mikesmusicmethod.com, we've got 6, 4, 4, and then it's doing the third string. But in between that, 6, 4, and on the first string, back to 4 again, then I lift and play the first string again. So it's real slow. Same note up with the thumb. Then my thumb goes to the third string, and then my pointer does the second. So the ending is just 4, 1, 2. Sorry, 4, 1, 3, 2 are the strings. So it ends with a really basic Travis picking, right, outside, inside pattern. Right, 4 to 1, then do the inside, 3 to 2. So that's kind of cool. It's that beginning that's awkward. But if you can frame the ending in your mind as being really easy, and the beginning's kind of easy too, it's just bizarre to put them one after the other. Let's get our thumb going here. Man, once you get it down, that is quite a beautiful measure there, isn't it? And we're on to measure 8. It's a C chord. We got a little more movement here. We are going to end up putting our pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And the thumb's just back to the normal 5, 4. We got 5, 4, pinkies down on the 3rd string. Or sorry, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, the B string. So I got 5, 4, 2, and I'm doing my middle finger. And you'll notice in this song, if you haven't already, these two fingers are shifting quite a bit. Sometimes it's 1st and 2nd string on the melody, depending on the chord. Sometimes it's the 2nd and the 3rd string. So I'm just shifting those depending on where I'm at here. So I've got 5, 4, 2, back to 5 with the thumb, back to 2, but I lift my pinky there, and I play the 1st fret. Pop. And then it ends 4, 3. Just normal. You don't have to do anything. Always keep those fingers down as long as you can to make the line very smooth and legato. Here's the thumb. Let's do it. Measure 8. Kind of get a break. Normal G chord. We do need our pinky down, right? Just like a normal G like that. Again, don't need the middle finger because we're never playing the 5th string. 6, 4, 3, thumb, thumb, pointer. Then it ends 6, 1, 4. So I'm doing thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb. Here's just our thumb. 6, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. And I'm doing the pointer. You can do the middle on top. My instinct is to do the ring finger. But if you're not well versed with that ring finger, just do the middle. That's fine. Almost done with the intro here. Measure 9. We're back to the C chord with the pinky down. So very similar to what we did at the beginning, but we have a pinch here. Ooh, actually quite a bit different. I take that back. Check out our thumb pattern. It's very different. We've got 5, 4, 5, 4 again, but it's open. So he's kind of doing it that D over in the C chord, so it's like becomes a C sus2. So thumb on 5, 4, 5, 4 again, but I lift that middle finger here to make it open. And what we're doing, we're pinching 5 and 1. So I got the pinky down again on that C chord. So pinch 5 and 1, then it's 4, 3. Then it's 5, 1, 4, but the 4 is open. Here it is with the thumb. Let's add everything. And you'll notice with my hands here is I have some background in classical, so I'm fine using that ring finger. But you know, sometimes I shift. It really is context dependent. If you're not good with that ring finger, it's fine to just use your middle finger there. The donation pitch. Guys, I put a lot of my time, talent, treasure into this channel. So if you're getting value from it, it's a value for value model. I ask you to give back. What's it worth to you? This could be $10 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, $5 a month, $1 a month. Go to mikesmusicmethod.com. I have all the ways to donate. But that's what this is about. I'm trying to create as much content as I can for you guys, and I know a lot of people out there are getting really solid value from this channel. Thank you. At the least, please encourage me, leave comments below, email me, knowing that these videos are actually helping people break through guitar plateaus and people are learning songs they didn't think they'd be able to learn because I'm sitting here patiently going through note for note. You know, just know this, it's not easy for me to do. It takes a lot of time and effort on my end. So it's a value for value model. If you're getting great value, please give it back. The more you're able to give, the more time I'm able to give to the channel to create more of these. That's it, keeping the pitch short this time. Onward with the tune. Measure 10 is a G7. And guess what? It's exactly the same as measure 2. So we get a break there. And then measure 11 is the same as 3. Ooh, I take that back. There's a little hammer on at the beginning. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. And with these hammer-ons, I'll very often, when it's at the beginning of the measure, instead of thinking like A minor, put it in place, lift this finger, do a hammer-on, just think you're coming from that G, and I'm simply hammering the whole chord. That's so much easier for your brain. There's less steps involved as opposed to, like I said, find the chord, lift that one, then hammer it. That's too much. If I'm coming from that G, I'm going to hammer everything into that A minor. Although I'm only pinching 5 and 2. I'm just going to hammer the whole chord. It makes it way easier. But then it's exactly the same as measure 3. Measure 12, a little bit different. Pretty cool, actually. Our thumb, we're doing an A minor. It's 5, 4, 5, and then it's open on 4. We've seen that before on the C chord. Now he's doing it on the A minor. This one, it's hard to tell if it's a color or if he's doing that just so he can get to the next chord more quickly without having to fret it. And we got another little color in here. 5, 4 on an A minor. Then I'm putting my pinky down, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and I'm pinching those. So I'm pinching there with the pinky down, and then immediately hitting the 1st string. So thumb, thumb. Here I'm pinching thumb and pointer. Then my middle finger can do that top string really quickly. And there we're hitting the 4th string open. And here I wouldn't just lift that whole finger, but honestly I would just move the entire chord, and you'll see why when we get to the next measure. But let's do that with the click. Here's the thumb. This tempo, when it's only 60 BPM, is quite hard. Sorry, the thumb is open 2, then open, open. So 5, 4, then we lift it, and here's the whole measure. Geez, I lied. This intro is infinitely longer than I thought it was. But the good news is that a lot of this stuff just happens later in the song. So when you get through this intro, in some regards, you kind of have the song done. At least a lot of the picking, you're going to have gone through almost all of it, and nothing's going to surprise you. So I always say take the time to nail the first 4 measures of a song before going on, because almost the entire rest of the song is usually found in those first 4 measures, right? You get most of the tricks, because when someone's singing, obviously they have less brain power to do any tricky picking stuff. So measure 13, check this out. We have an F chord, but he's voicing it up high, and he's got some opens in there. It's actually like an F11, F major 11. So all I need is the 3rd fret, right? Just like you normally do an F chord, 3rd fret on the D string. But I'm gonna play that with my pointer finger. Then you can do your, it's up to you, your ring or your pinky. I like using my pinky, it's just easier to stretch, on the 5th fret of that high string. Remember, we're counting from the capo, so technically it's the 7th fret, but you know what I mean. 5 up from the capo. So it looks like that. 3, open, open, 5. Really cool here. My thumb's going back and forth between 4 and 3. I pinch at the beginning, 4 and 1, thumb alone, pointer does open. Then from there, I go back to the thumb on 4, now I lift the pinky finger, and that first string is open. So it's 4, 1, then thumb does 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. So here's the thumb, then we'll put it all together. Measure 14. This is getting ridiculous that there hasn't been a repeat yet. I mean, I know it's not like crazy new material, but man, is there a lot of variety and interest going on here, which surprises me because Gregory Isakov Allen III, twice removed, second cousin, usually his songs are just like strumming, but then he busts this one out and I'm like, man, you're a fairly competent finger picker. How come you're strumming all the time? Just an aesthetic choice. Aesthetic. 14. Messed that up, but check this out. The thumb is doing 5, 4, 4, open, and it's all on a C chord. 5, 4, 4. Then again, I'm going to lift the whole chord to get to the G chord at the end. So you can just lift the chord and get ready for the G. What we're doing though, pinching 5 and 2, thumb alone. And then right back to 2, but I put my pinky down, 3rd fret, 2nd string there. So that melody goes up. Hit the 4th string again with the thumb, so it's 2 4th strings in a row. Then lift the pinky and right back to the 2nd string. So it actually ends up being 4, 2, 4, 2. So we got the pinch, 4, 2, 4, 2, and we gotta put the pinky down, lift it, and then I do 4 again, but lift the chord and it's just 4, 3 with the pointer. Here's the thumb, whole thing. And I know I'm playing with the C repeating, but here I lift the whole chord when I'm actually transitioning. Something to keep in mind. Measure 15, I got a G chord. And this is almost oddly out of place, like little flat 3 there. That is really cool. It's just unexpected in this. I just wouldn't expect that kind of stylized thing, but it's cool. It works. So what we're doing here is a normal G chord, thumb, pointer, 6, 4, 3. Then he goes to 5, but instead of playing directly where it normally is, he's hammering on from that flat 3 to the 3. And I'm still keeping this note down just to let it ring. From 1 to 2, and then again just 4, 3 with the thumb. Thumb, pointer, hammer on the thumb, pointer. Here's the thumb. Make sure that's really clean. You might have to inch your fingers up, get good posture so that all of them ring out. And 16, we almost get a break. It's kind of the same as 9, but instead of a pinch at the beginning, we don't pinch. So it's that C chord, and then we lift it at the end to get the sus sound. So we saw that before in 9. Again, the only difference is no pinch. It's just the thumb alone on beat 1. And 17, we have a G chord. And we get this really cool descending part. And then we're done with the intro. So 17, it's a G chord. I'm pinching 6 and 1. Again, sometimes I use my ring finger, but I'll tell you to do thumb and middle. Thumb to 4, and then pointer finger does 3. So pinch 6 and 1, 4, 3. So you got that. Then from there, I'm doing 6, 1 again. But we have a pull off. We're going to do 3, pulls off to open. But at the moment, I hit the 4th string. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. So the ending, 6, 1, pull off and hit the 4th string at the same time. Let's do that slow. 3, 4. Measure 18 is a G7, same basic idea, except now instead of that G, I got the first fret there, G7, pinching, thumb and thumb and thumb. Here there's no giddy up, so significantly easier. Pinch 6, 1, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. Think you get it? And then we lift that first finger to make it open. Same picking pattern. So we got this dun, 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 dun in the next measure, but let's do that one more time. 18, 19. 6 and 1, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. Same idea, but now my pinky goes down 3rd fret on that 2nd string because we descended G, F, E, D. And pinch 6 and 2 here, of course, because that's where our melody note is. 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. So same as last measure, but always doing it on the 2nd string instead of the 1st. Shaboom! Now is a great moment to stop learning stuff. Go to the end of the video down below, slow runs, intro, timestamps are down below, and make sure you really got that down. Guys, even only doing the first 4 measures perfectly, first 2 measures perfectly, do that before you move on to anything else. I promise it's a quicker way of learning it. Give your brain the time, the space, the energy to execute those new moves, get them close to muscle memory. Everything else will come easier if you do that. All right, let's start the verse. Measure 21, C chord with the pinky down. Now that you got all that stuff down, I think you'll be able to go through this pretty quick. I'll go faster here. Thumb is 5, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3. Measure 22, we've got a G chord, pinching 6 and 2. Thumbs does 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. And I got the pinky down, normal G. '23, I'll explain just because he does this a lot. It's kind of like an A minor, but not really. He just has the first finger down. And he's pinching 5 and 1, then he does 4, 3, open. So pinch, thumb pointer. Then he moves that A down to a G. And he does G, low G, 3rd fret on the 6th string. Then he moves to the 2nd string again. And thumb does 4, so the ending is 6, 2, 4. So I don't know what you call that. Kind of like an A minor 7, A minor with the G in the bass. So that whole measure looks like this. Again. 24 is an F chord, pinch 6 and 2, then 4, 3, so thumb middle, thumb pointer, then we end it back to 6, 2, thumb middle, then he's lifting the chord there to get open on the 4th string, 3, 4. '25, we got a C chord, but with a G in the bass, so I'm moving this to here. So we don't need the 5th string. Still a C chord, but we have the G in the bass. Love this old folk trick, timeless. We're pinching 6 and 2, thumb and middle, then 4, 3 is thumb pointer. The second half of the measure is 6, 2, then he does 4 again, but he lifts it. And this is confusing because in the recording, sometimes he's lifting it, sometimes he isn't. So honestly, whatever you think sounds better, he does a lot of back and forth between that, like lifting it and not lifting it. And there's times where he's singing so loud that it's nearly impossible to hear exactly what he's doing in the recording. But for this measure, we've got that C chord. So pinch 6 and 2, then 4, 3. Then the measure ends 6, 2, 4, 3. There I lifted it, 6, 2, 4, 3, meaning that finger's lifted. Sometimes it's down, just keep that in mind. So 3, 4. Measure 26, just an easy G chord. 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. That's thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, 1, 2, and 27 we've seen before. It's that kind of weird A minor. Except he adds an extra and beat at the end with a pointer finger. Otherwise, it's identical to 23. 28 looks almost exactly the same as 24, except there's no pinch at the beginning. It's just a thumb on that F. Let me transition to the next chord. Good news is that measure 25 to 29 repeats 3 times. That's the main chunk of the verse. And then we keep going forward. Here we have, or sorry, it was 25 to 28. Here we have 29, and it's just how he ends the verse. And he ends it here with one transition, but every time in the song he seems to be doing this transition a little bit different, but we'll get to those. 29 looks like this. Just a normal G chord. 6, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. And we've seen that before. Down to the G7, right? A lot like in the intro. He didn't have that pull off though with the giddy up. Now it's just a G7. But it ends different because he actually hits the second string. 6 and 1. 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 2 at the end. So that's where it's a little bit different. And then 31 is 6, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 2. Middle, thumb, pointer. 30 we get a break, just a simple G, and we've seen it before. 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. Now the chorus, the Gimme Darkness part. We have an A minor. Does that same trick. We're at the end of the A minor, pinching 5 and 2. He's going to lift it. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. He's pinching 5 and 2. 4, 3, 5, 2, 4 again, but it's lifted. 34, we have the F chord. Double open at the end, but we're pinching at the beginning. 6 and 2. 4, 3, 6, 2, open, open on 4, 3. Let's talk about 35. It's a G chord. We're also going to have that first finger down, but he hammers down, so it kind of becomes a C with a G in the bass. So we got G, then he has a heavy thumb here. He's hitting 4 and 3, and he's hammering on 2nd fret on the 4th string. So it's almost like a little strum there. And when he's doing that, I'm also putting this first finger down. So it's like a G chord that transitions into that C with the G in the bass chord. So even though I'm not really hearing him sound the 2nd string there, I'm still hammering these two down together. Because then he's doing 6, and he is hitting the 2nd string with that 1st fret down. So get it early. 6, 2, and then it just ends 4, 3. So 6, heavy thumb on 4. 6, 2, 4, 3. 36 is that same idea, but we lift the middle finger. So it's 6, 4, 3, but now it's open. But I do have to keep the first finger down, which is what's confusing. So it's 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. And that 4 is open, but I'm still holding that 1st fret down there. Measure 37 here is basically repeating the last 4 measures I just showed you. So it looks a lot like 33 to 36, just ever so slight variation. The first measure here is the same as 33. 37 is the same as 33. The F here, he's just ending on the 4th beat instead of adding the and. I know I'm super nitpicky. And here I'm in 39, I'm hearing a pinch at the beginning with that 1st finger down. And here it seems like he's keeping that middle finger down before he resolves it. So I got pinch 6 and 2, hammer on the 4th string, 6, 2, 4, 3, and that's all a C chord with the G in the bass. The next measure begins the same way, but he finally resolves it to the G on the very last beat. So that very last measure there is 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. That's where you're getting it, that C chord realized, and do it more of a G chord. And again, the next 4 measures, 41 to 44, are pretty much the same thing with even more variation. It's totally unnecessary. I tabbed it out. You choose the best one. I kind of get nitpicky because I love to obsess and see how these guys, these great songwriters are picking and what they're doing and learn new things from it. But again, you could just start from 33 and just do the 4 measures and repeat. Here it is again, same chord progression, slightly different variation. This beginning one's the same, 41. F is like how he did it the first time. The double open at the end. Here it sounds like he's lifting that middle finger again. So you got the pinch at the beginning, which is like the first time, heavy thumb. But now I'm hearing him lift the chord there to do open, open at the end. Now the last one, he ends it on the G nice and early, and he hits the first string. So it's 6, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. And he finishes up the chorus here with a few more measures. We're on 45, it's A minor. Here he doesn't lift it because we get 2 measures of A minor, so it's pinching 5 and 2. 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. Second measure here is 5, 4, 3, 5, 2. And there he does lift it to the D. 47, we got more of this G weirdness where he starts on a C with a G in the bass, pinching 6 and 2. 4, 3, 6, 2. Now when he does the 4, 3, he lifts it, so you hear it open. So pinch, 4, 3, 6, 2, lifted, 4, 3. Then it's a normal G chord, so now he lifts that first finger, right? And we're going to lift that one up, so it's just a normal G. 6, 2, pinch, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 2. And the pinky's down on that 1. So normal G chord, pinch 6 and 2, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 2. 49, a G chord, normal G, except right at the beginning, we're hammering on the first finger. We don't need this middle finger. It looks like a normal G, but he hammers the first finger. So pinching 6 and 2, hammer onto the first fret of that second string, thumb on D. Then it's followed by an immediate second string again, but he's brushing, so he's hitting the third with it. Sorry, there we go. So 6 and 2 with the hammer on, thumb on 4, brush up with that pointer finger on 2 and 3. Then he hits the thumb again on 6, and now he brushes up on the top 2 strings, so you're going to hear 3 and 1. So 6, then thumb, 6, brush, 4. So the brush is on the second and third, followed by a brush that's on the first and the second. And all that with the thumb in between. I love it. And it's the only time it happens in the song. 50, easy G chord, 6 and 2. 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 2. Then he does that twice. Sorry, second time without the pinch at the beginning. So it's just 6, 4, 3. Then he does it again in 56, but without the pinch at the beginning. '57, simple G chord. We've seen that before. 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. Pooh! Timestamps are down below. Make sure you master that verse before trying to tackle the bridge. And onward to the bridge. This chord, the first several times I heard the song, I was like, this is so out of place. Like, what? It's just very abrupt. I guess the more you listen to it, you kind of get used to it. Still not my favorite part of the song. I just feel like the transition is too abrupt. I should have did something else with it. Just an unexpected D minor. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the only rhythm that's a little bit weird in the song, because the first time, if you're looking at the tab, he doesn't actually give you beat 2. So we have a D minor, and he's hammering open to 2 on the third string. You may do your D minor with your ring finger like this. I tend to use my pinky. Doesn't matter. But we have the hammer on, 1 and 2 and. So he doesn't hit the thumb here the first time on this transition. Gives you a little more breathing room. So it's 1, 2, and. Then he comes up with the pointer finger on the second string. So note that little asterisk there, where every other time you're immediately going to do the thumb on the 3rd string. But the first time he does it, big heavy D minor with a hammer, no beat 2. You can pretend you're going to play beat 2. 1, 2, and, but that and beat is this pointer finger, 2nd string. Second half of the measure is easy. It's just 4, 1, 2, 3, 2. 4, 1, 3, 2. Thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. So that's it. Heavy thumb. Sorry, I did it with the downbeat. Here's without it. Sorry. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Miss, and. Now, every other time, I'll just tell you now, every other time he repeats this, he does do the big heavy hammer. And then the thumb immediately does the 3rd string. So there it's more like a Travis picking. Like if you took away the big strum, it'd just be 4, 3, 4, 3. And this is more normal, right? So. To me, to do less is harder. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. If you want to do the thumb every time, it's fine. But just know the first time it gives you a little more breathing room. 59 just stays on that D minor, but we lift it at the end. It's. And he's transitioning to the next chord. So it's 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3 is open. Measure 60, we've got an F chord, but the C in the bass. And I'm not barring to bother anything. I'm not bothering to bar anything. I'm not barring to bother anybody. I'm not bothering to bar you. I'm not barring to bother you. I'm not bothering to bar you. The guitar, I mean. Not you personally. You're cute. I like you. Yeah, you're a cutie. You're a cutie. All right, so the F chord I'm doing real simple. Just 1 on the 2nd string. 2 on the 3rd. Then 3, 3 with pinky ring. So just doing, it's like an F chord, but only doing the inside. I love playing it this way. These are easy to move. They're nice for playing the blues. Anyway, so this is what we're doing. Just like that. Pinch 5 and 2. 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3, pinch. 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. That's it. Measure 61 is basically the same, but no pinch at the beginning. 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, open on 4 again for the transition. One more time, sorry. 62, we've got the C chord with the G in the bass again. Looks like this. So I'm starting with it down just because my brain wants to lock into the chord first. Pinching 6 and 2, but then I am hammering open to 2 on the 4th string. Then it just ends 6, 2, 4, 3. But we got a loud ending there with the pointer finger. He's kind of doing that here, emphasizing 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and real loud last beat there. 6 and 2, hammer on the 4th string. 6, 2, 4, 3. Next measure, kind of the same, no pinch though. And I am, that last thumb, I'm lifting it so it's open at the end, the double open. Sorry, I messed it up. Here's with the double open at the end in 63. It's hard to lift that and then have the accent after, because there's something in my brain when I'm lifting that I want to make that heavy, but that's not what he's doing. There we go. Yeah, it requires more brain power than one would think. 64, real simple. G chord, 6, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. Now, keep in mind here, this bridge, we're going to repeat after measure 65, and he just loops that bridge quite a few times. But note, the first 3 times he ends on 65, but then the transition part is a different ending. So eventually we'll replace this 65, but let's learn this here first. We have that weird, we have a brush here. And we're doing a G chord, but only hammering on with the first finger. We never actually put that other finger down anywhere. So G chord, pinching 6, but also a brush. So it's like 6, 2, and 3 at the same time. And I'm hammering. Thumb on 4, then brush again. So hammer, thumb, brush. Pinch with the hammer, thumb, brush. 6 and brush. 4, brush. And then we've got 6, open with the second string. 4, 3. Open, open. So 58 to 65, that's the part that loops a bunch, but the very last time you skip over 65 and replace it with the transition I mentioned before that seems to change every time he does it. And it's a G7, all straightforward, right? Pinch, 6 and 1, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. Then he lifts that G7 so it's open, same picking pattern. Then he puts the pinky down. So this one looks more like the intro, which we've seen before. Yay! So after that bridge and that little transition at the end, he actually goes back to the intro for a little bit. So he does measure 9 to 16 of the intro. So he doesn't go all the way back to measure 1, but he goes 9 to 16. But now again, instead of that transition that he normally does, we're going to jump to measure 70. So instead of playing measure 17, right, instead of going 9 all the way through 17, you do 9, 16. Then you jump here for a slightly different ending yet again, and that is measure 70 in the tab. Too many darn measures in this song. And we've seen that before. That's where he's doing the G chord with the giddy up, where he's pulling off 3 open there. To a G7. The second string at the end, we've seen that earlier in the song too. And then here it's a little different. It's just 6, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 2. I guess it's the same, but no pinch at the beginning. Then he stays on the G7 twice. I know, subtly different, but it is different. Then we go back to the verse. One little thing to note though, I know there's all these subtle variations, and here's another one. But when he's singing about like the big waves, something about big waves and I wish I was. He's doing something a little bit different here, and basically same chords, but he's doing a really big strum. He's just creating more dynamic in this part. So if you look at your tab, I'm doing this here in measure 75. So that's like the normal A minor thing, but we start with a big strum, and then we continue like usual. Big strum, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4 is open. Then he does the same thing on the F chord. I suppose you could do thumb over the top still. So big strum, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3 is open, open. Looking kind of the same, but just has those big strums. C with a G in the bass, I think this is all the same. Lifted at the end. And he stays on it. Slight variation, just changes up the ending of that verse a little bit. Then he goes back to the bridge, and like I said before, 65, we replace it with yet a different transition, and we're going to do that here in 80. He starts just right on the G7. We've seen that before, 6 and 1, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 2. Same thing, no pinch. Then 82, normal, simple G. It's a little bit shorter. Then he goes back to the chorus, which was measure 33 to 34. But this chorus is a little bit longer. So again, one more variation. All you're doing is adding those last 4 bars onto it again. So you do 33 to 44 as a normal chorus, but then you would repeat 41 to 44. So you're just giving it one more revolution, kind of like, you know, a lot of songs have a double chorus. This isn't quite a full double, but he does give it one more stanza. And then we're nearly there. Here's the outro when he says that damn coyote. So we're at about 4 minutes and 10 seconds of the song. And he repeats these 8 measures that I'm going to give you, and he kind of fades out. So let's look at measure 85 here. Nothing too new. We got the A minor. That giddy up again. I'm doing 5, 4. Then I'm hitting the 3rd string open and hammering it down. At the same time I hammer, I'm hitting the 5th string. So we have a giddy up there. Right to 2, then end it on 4, 3. Then you keep the A minor down. Giddy up. next 86 is kind of the same, no giddy up. Double open at the end. To an F chord. Here we have the giddy up again like we did earlier on in the song. 6, 4, 3 is open, hammer on with the giddy up. Like that, we've seen that. Hold the chord down because with no opens at the end because we stay on the F. And this one has an open at the end. That was measure 88. So 88 is the same as 87 but no giddy up. Transition to the C chord with the G in the bass. We hammer on beat 2 there. Does it again. But he lifts it there. In 90 it's a little different because he's lifting that middle finger. Then to a normal G here in 91. Seen that before. 6, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. Then here we got that hammer on to the first fret on the second string. Pinch 6 and 2, and it's 4, 3, and then it's that second half of the measure is 6, 1, 4, 2. So that whole measure 3, 4. In 85 to 92 repeats to the fade. Oh, you did it! If you haven't, go watch some of Tim Anderson's original strength work to move your body a little bit. I'm kind of stiff. I didn't take my own advice and take a break this time. I'm annoyed with myself. But I'll do it now. Slow run. Let's do the intro. Measure 1 through 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the verse. Slow run from measure 21 to 32. Remember though, there will be that repeat. I won't do it 3 times, but I'll repeat that middle section twice just to get you in the habit of making sure you don't miss the repeat. So 21, 2, 3, 4. Guys, spring has sprung. I just opened the window. The birds are chirping. It is glorious. Slow run of the chorus. We're going to do 33 all the way to 51. 2, 3, 4. sure I missed one of those middle fingers where you're supposed to lift it and you don't. Again, whichever way sounds best to you, just practice it that way. His seems a little random to me. We'd run the whole thing. Let's do the second transition. So slow run of just this transition 53 to 57 here. 3, 4. Let's do the bridge. We'll run it twice. We'll do the first ending, which is also the second and the third ending, but we're not going to do it that many times. We'll do it twice. The second time, we'll just jump to ending 4. So bridge, measure 58 here. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and. Real quick, let's add that other transition here in measure 70. Transition. 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I hit the wrong string. My thumb hit 3 instead of 4, but always keep rolling. Just keep rolling when you make a mistake. I'm going to skip the part with the strums because it's just that little variation on the verse, and we are going to jump down to measure 85 in the tab, where he does this different ending of the chorus and the little outro part. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah! Gregory Isakov the third, second cousin twice removed. We conquered you.
Gregory.